Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ottavia. September is gone, finished, bye-bye, and we're gonna start October, which is crazy because September is now finishing and October is starting, and then we only have November and December until the end of the year. That's freaking scary. I can't believe it. But anyway, today I'm gonna show you the books that I read in September. So technically, I'm actually recording this video a little bit earlier. So I still have a couple of days to finish one book specifically. So at the moment I read 6 books and a half. So basically I don't have time to record this video next week. So I had to do it today, and I'm gonna at the end just put somewhere if I finished a book or not. Because why not? Let's do it this way. But like I said, I read 6 books and a half. One is an ebook and another one instead is physical book. So let's start with the first one that I completed for the month of September. An Amber in the Ashes by Cassandra Clare. I am so happy that I picked up this book. And this one was actually part of my 5-star prediction video that I made, which you can check it down below, and it gave me a 5-star. I was so blown away by this book, and I wasn't expecting it because it's an old one. It's 2015, and I always wanted to read it, but then I was like, no, I don't know, la la. Do you know when you're so excited to read a book, but then you're actually not picking it up? That's what happened with this one. I picked it up and I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna read it, but I decided, okay, let's just do it. And I'm so happy that I did. 5-star, and I can't wait to read the second one and to finish the series, and hopefully I will like it. Because also I have a book from Cassandra Clare called Air, which is connected to this series, and I bought it and I didn't know that it was a connection. So that's why, it's good that I started, so like this I can read the other book, because I'm excited to read that one too. But apart from that, 5-star, like I said. I wasn't expecting to liking it as much. It's really like a heavy book. It's really like a crude and gruesome, and oh my god, the poor kids, seriously. So we are in this world where it's basically there's a martial empire. This king many years ago decided to conquer this area where it was all connected with the scholars, so people that are really good, reading and books and stuff like that. Also there's a really kind of interesting magic system in here that I don't want to talk about much right now, but at the moment here, after 30 years, we follow these 2 people. One that is part of these martial schools that this guy kind of started when he was younger. He was chosen to basically do this kind of trial in a way inside the school, and it's a long process to actually become a mask kind of warrior. I don't remember the exact name, but basically when you reach a certain age and when you are going to basically get a diploma from this one, you are becoming basically like a warrior for the empire. Like we say, like martial empire is more like a military academy, this one, okay? The thing is that they started, they're really small, like they're 5-6 years old, and then there are some things that they need to do in order to continue, and some kids die, some kids not, and it just there's a lot going on. And also when you reach a certain age, you get this mask that kind of connects to your own face, and we have the guy that we follow that he doesn't actually want to be there anymore. He's trying to escape, and compared to all the other friends, he's the only one that the mask is not attached to him immediately, so he can still remove it. And then we have the girl that is actually part of the scholar system, and she's kind of like placed in a different area because of something that happened to her family, and now she wants to try to get the brother that he was imprisoned, and she starts to become like a slave for someone important in this military academy, and there's a lot going on. It's quite strong, and I'm not giving this book justice explaining it like that, but just because I'm afraid to spoil you, and also because from the actual plot of here, there's a lot more into it. Because if you read it like that, it's not giving you as much, but when you read it, there's a lot more going on. I'm sure that a lot of people have read this book, but please read it. I read it, I think, in 2 days. I couldn't put it down. I was so like into it. I was feeling so sad and I was a mess when I was reading this book. But it was worth it. It was good. It's what I wanted. It's an old type fantasy where there's not much about romance in it. It might be maybe in other books, but this is what I love. It's a fantasy book with not much like love interest. There is, but it's not the main focus. And I loved it. I loved it. 5-star. After this one, I needed something a little bit more chill because it was quite a heavy book. And I decided to pick up the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. And I actually enjoyed it. I gave it a 4-star. I don't know why people are hating this book much. It's a book for autumn that gives you cozy vibes. And the plot is not the greatest thing ever, but it gives you what you want. Something quick, fast, cozy, that you laugh, that you don't care much about the plot. And this is perfect. And I know it's part of a series. I'm not sure if I continue it. But for what I needed for that particular time, it delivered. And we follow these 2 people. So a girl called Jenny, that she takes this cafe from grandmother, I think, that she decided to go on holiday and stuff like that. And Jenny needs something different compared to what she was doing, living in Boston, I think it was, yeah. And she has to learn a few things also, to be by herself, and a slow pace as well of life. And then we follow a guy called Logan, which he has a farm, I think. And he was deeply wounded by a relationship prior, and he can fall in love really easily. And he feels a connection to Jenny, and is of course vice versa. And he doesn't know what to do because Jenny talks so much, and he's like, yeah, cool. He's that kind of person. He's like, yeah, I can help you. When in his mind is like, what the F I've just said? I don't want that. I don't want this. And you see like their relationship and how they kind of, help each other in a way. It wasn't the greatest book ever, but like I said, it delivered. It got me where I want it, and I might pick up the other ones, but it was really cozy. It's really sweet as well, and I'm really happy that I got this one. I mean, if you want something cozy and easy to read, this is the right book for you. The next one that I read was a little bit of a disappointment in a way. Kinda, I mean, it was okay, but not like the greatest thing ever. And it's The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. This is the first book in this new duology or trilogy or series that she's coming out. The second book came out in September, and I didn't pick it up. I'm not sure if I will. So the premise is quite interesting. So you are in this world where you have the dagger and the cloak. So 2 types of houses that they're using this kind of magic called shade. I think it's called shade. And basically they're doing it in a different way because the daggers, they ingest this type of magic thing like that, and they become like shadows, and they're the one that kind of killing people and stuff like that. And then the cloaks, they're using it on clothing, so like this, they are kind of like, stealing things and so on. But they're kind of rival, these 2 houses. And we are following this girl that her mother was kind of like making this kind of like magic or shade from this flower, and that she was selling it especially to the cloaks. But something happened to her mother, so she decided to run and go to the cloaks and become part of the cloaks. And then we're following the guy, which is in the dagger, and he's there that really wants to become the actual boss of the order. But from the previous boss, the guy that is actually the boss now, is like, okay, you need to kill this girl because this girl needs to be gone forever. So he's kind of following her, and then there's a little bit of a love interest, enemies to lovers, that kind of thing, and it was fine, but not really for me. Also, I do love this part as well, and that's what it caught my eye when I bought the book, and also the cover, and I know also the second one comes like that, and it's blue, but it's something that I read already before. Also, I didn't like the friendship that were coming up in this book. They were too much forced, too much, oh yeah, we're best friends forever, and other things. Also, this relationship, I didn't get it as much. The ending as well, there's a lot of jumping between places. It didn't give me what I wanted. I read already like a shadow, shadow boyfriend, shadow daddies, or whatever it is in there, and this one didn't give me anything, which is sad. I might pick up the second book if I want to as an ebook, but because I have so many books that I want to read and so many I need to finish, I'm not sure if I will. It was still a good time. I still read it quite quickly. It's a really fast read. I don't know. I don't think it was... It could have been for me if it was executed differently. And this one, unfortunately, didn't take it. And I don't know. It was something I was a little bit... I don't know. The concept was great. Cloaks and daggers and this families and rivalry. But the love story... I didn't get it at all. There was also like a random scene of like a sex, let's say, but it was done in a way that it was just thrown there, and I was like, why are you doing this now? It doesn't make sense. You are running from a point to another, and then you're stopping for just doing something really quickly and then continue. So no, it was a 3-star for me though, maybe a little bit less. But I can say that this book is not going to stay in my bookcase because also I don't have enough space, and I'm sure that someone else might enjoy this one, but unfortunately it wasn't for me. Then I read a vampire book, and it was The Hunter's Gambit by C.A. Pierlot. I gave it a 2.5 star. I didn't like it. I believe this is a standalone, which is great, and of course when you read a standalone, you can't actually you can't expect much because it's a standalone. It's only one book and has to be done in like 300 or 400 pages that a book might be. This was 300 pages, 320, something like that. But I have so many problems. The first part was fine. The introduction, and you see this girl that she's a bladesmith, so she knows to make swords, and she made these swords to go against vampires. That basically, like, if they are actually picking up the swords, they can, get burned and stuff like that. They can kill it, basically. And she decided to sell it. And when she goes to the person to sell it, she found this guy that is actually a vampire, but he's using like a ring to kind of go undercover. And there's a little bit of like they like each other, let's say, but nothing really happened. But then she has to go to a different area of this world, and the vampire attacks the caravan that she was in, and she's been taken to become the queen in the vampire court. So basically, only for 3 days, she's gonna be treated as a queen, and then she's gonna get killed. Like some kind of sports, and I don't want to say too much if you are interested in reading this one. It sounds promising. It sounds really nice. So basically in 3 days she has to try to escape. But the turning point, the romance, the execution. This girl, her name is Kazan. She's a freaking pain in the ass. She doesn't understand when she needs to stop doing things. Like, she's trying to have help from this vampire, and the vampire is like, don't do anything, we are gonna sort it out, this situation, you just need to be there and do your thing, and then everything's gonna be fine. No, she doesn't trust the vampires, which I understand, but at the same time, he told you 5 times to not do anything, and for 5 times you're fucking stupid. Sorry for the word. I was just like, no, you can't be stupid. You can't be stupid. The ending as well of this book was horrendous. I am so sorry. You can't finish like this. Like, are you gonna put another book out? If it is, you could have done better. I'm so sorry, Sia Pierlo. I'm sure that, you're writing really well. Like, the writing style is great. I read it really quickly, really fast. I don't have any problems in the writing style. It's just the execution, the plot, and things like this. Because this one could have been such a good book for me, and unfortunately, it didn't get me. And I'm so sad because this one, as a standalone, vampires, there's a love interest, there's a lot of thing going on. You have this 3 days that she has to try to escape. It sounds fun, really fun, but unfortunately it didn't get there. I'm so sad. I could go on and on and on about this book, but let me just stop there. But 2.5 or 2-star, this book is gonna go out of this house and hopefully someone else will like it, but it's not for me, unfortunately. Then I received an ARC from an author that I actually read a few books from him, and he sent me some other ARCs before, so thank you so much, David. And this book is the second book in this trilogy of a middle grade called The Book of Uland. It's the second book for this trilogy, and is by David McKillery, and the book in question is The Empress of Nim. And the first book was a Soulborn Talisman. This is a middle grade fantasy series, or fantasy book, of course, because we're talking about the second one. And it actually came out mid-September, so please go and check it out if you want to read a middle grade fantasy book that's a little bit different from maybe other ones. And of course, I can't talk about the second book because there's a second book. But regarding the first one, we are in a normal world. We have these 3 kids that go to this outing with the school, and these 3 kids that kind of like manage to get into a different world, and it's kind of a little bit like a Narnia kind of situation. But in this world, there's a lot of magic, there's trolls, there's elves, there's giants, there's everything in between. But there's a lot going on in it because there's one of the bad guys that is trying to conquer the whole Uland world. And these kids, they're kind of like taking us a little bit overpowered as well. And we are following 2 of them and then 1 because they kind of been separated from this, and the journey is so nice, it's so like warming as well. And in the second book, they are going back to the world and they need to basically save the Empress of Nim, which is by the title, which they met before in the previous book. And I gave this book like a 3.5, 4 stars. I think it was a really nice continuation of it. And it was cozy, but at the same time was a little bit, has a little bit of like a horror vibe in some areas. And I know the author loves writing horror books. I read a book from him called Substitute. He's coming out with a new one soon. And it was, you see the difference of these kids, even though it passed 6 months from the first book and the second one in their world, they actually grown quite a lot. And it was nice to see the differences. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So hopefully you will like it too if you want to, check it out. But thank you so much, Davey, for giving me this book and to read it. And yeah, hopefully I can't wait to read the next one, of course. And the last book that I finished at the moment is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I have so many things to talk about, regarding this book. I can say that I gave it a 4-star, well written. I am really happy that I read it. I was so blown away. I didn't know much about the story of Frankenstein. I'm not much about like gothic, classic, horror vibe, and it was so great. And I know that the movie is coming out of Guillermo del Toro about Frankenstein, and I really want to see it and see the differences and what they are taking from the book and what not. And I was blown away by this one because it makes you think, Frankenstein is actually the doctor, is not the monster. So that's something to know. I don't know if you know it, but I didn't know actually. And it's something that he creates this monster. But then the question is, why have you done it? And also in the scientific world is, men can do anything, but maybe it's better to think twice before doing something like that. I mean, why are you doing it? And also, if you're doing something, you need to basically, you know, I mean, there are consequences of things that you create and you make. There's a few passages that I liked about this. I love how she writes things. I think there's one part which I do like a lot, which I want to show you. So the monster said to the actual doctor, "Accursed creator, why did you form a monster so hideous that even you turned from me in disgust? God in pity made man beautiful and alluring after his own image, but my form is a filthy type of yours, more horrid even from the very semblance. Satan had his companions, fellow devils, to admire and encourage him, but I'm a solitary and abhorrent." And it's so sad, like, comparing, like, because technically Frankenstein could have made a different type of creatures, and instead he decided to not do it and to create a monster. I don't know if you think about it, it's basically a reflection of himself, in my opinion. And it touched you. It touched you. And I don't know if you read this one, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm really happy that I read it. And the one that I haven't finished, that I'm only like 25% in, is by Cassandra Clare, The Soul Catcher. I'm literally 152 pages in. It's a big book. It's a little bit like, it takes a while to read it. It's a little bit slow. I'm not like reading it as much quickly. And you know, I'll let you know somewhere if I finished it or not once the videos come out. But at the moment, I'm still reading it. And it's about this kid that has been taken from the orphanage to become a soul catcher to the prince. Soul catcher meaning that he has to basically be like a bodyguard in some way, but at the same time, in case something happened in an area and the prince can't actually talk to the people, he can go and do it by the help of a talisman. So he decided when he's young to actually just to do it, because anyway, he was in an orphanage. After the orphanage, he would have been with no money and just scandal around. So he decided to take the opportunity to live a better life. But there's a lot going on as a politic intrigues in this world, which I'm not like seeing it yet. But you can see that there's a lot of things left unsaid. And then we also follow a girl which is part of a minority area of this world, and she basically with a talisman she can kind of helps people with any kind of illnesses that they might have, but the thing is that they're not really like well received, these people, because they're the only one that has still a little bit of magic. So I don't know what to expect. Hopefully I will like it, but I will let you know around if I enjoyed it or not. Ottavia for my future. Yes, I finished Cassandra Clare on the last day of September, the 30th of September, which is great. I'm super happy. So I read 7 books in the month of September. I give it a 4-star. If you want to know more about this book, please go and watch the reading vlog, which I'm going to leave it down below. But I really enjoyed it. I'm buying, or I bought actually the second book, and I can't wait to get into it. I wasn't expected to be a lot more like political, a little bit more static. There's a lot of things going on with the magic in a way, and also with the soul catcher and what's happening in the world of the kings and the prince and the people in the charters, which are part of the hill where all these really rich people are. There's a lot going on. I was really like into it a lot, even though it was kind of slow and a little bit boring in some areas, and I was shocked in a lot of things. Basically, you can't trust anyone in this book. Lots of things are gonna happen, and I can't wait to see how it's gonna dive into the second one. But if you want to know more what I think about this book, check the video down below. Back to Ottavia from the previous time when I recorded this video. Ta-ta! And there it is, guys. These are the books that I read, plus one that I still have to finish. I think it was like a success in some areas and other ones no, but I'm really happy that especially the 3 were great. This 2 not really, and this one I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed my TBRs. A little bit different from other TBRs that I usually create, and yeah, Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Let me know the books that you read in the month of September, and if you read any of the books that I mentioned, and any other suggestion, and also what do you think about this book. So just let me know, and I'll see you in my next video then. Bye, ciao.